Welcome to Sessions from Oblivion. This is Sick Love.
And that was Sick Love playing live in Soundhouse in Dublin. You guys have the best album I've heard in years. Champagne is magnificent.
Thank you.
Wow, thanks so much.
How did that come about? Who produced it? Where did you record it? Why is it so damn good?
It's so damn good because we spent a lot of time on it. So in 2020, we wrote an album, felt like it wasn't good enough, threw it in the bin. Right. And started again, which ended up becoming Champagne. Mm-hmm. So it was 2 or 3 years it took us to write and record that album.
Right.
And we recorded it in an Airbnb in the north of Ireland.
So you didn't go to a regular studio?
No.
You saved a fortune and you're able to make this magnificent thing.
Yeah, I don't think studios were back open at the time.
It was after, it was the end of 2020, 2021.
Yeah, and there was we had a guy from England, Alex Loring, helping us with the production.
Okay.
And at the time he couldn't fly to Ireland, so we had to kind of meet.
Who's this guy?
Alex Loring.
Who's he worked with?
Irish band's Fan Club, and he's in a band himself called Big Spring. He's a great producer. Yeah. So between us and him.
Did he change anything? Obviously you'd written the songs.
He kind of changed our approach to the songs.
In what way?
He made us really test them. Like he made us break down the songs to minuscule parts and make sure that works.
Okay.
Which is a lot different to what we've done previously. We still are, but we're a band that go into a room and like play music. But it kind of made us think more about the songwriting and like how to get the message across better by really tearing the songs apart. And if they still stand up, they're good enough to be on the album.
Well, whatever it is, it worked. It's just fantastic. You people have to go out and buy it. Don't just listen to it on Spotify. There's no use to the band whatsoever. It's for $11.99 on iTunes, is it?
Yeah.
Spend the $11.99.
Thank you.
There is an interesting quote on your press release. Pushing hard against preconceived ideas on gender, age, race and being. Particularly the being. What's that about?
I think it's... we've been around a good while, especially just playing our own music in the Irish scene. About 10 years now. Okay. Under different guises, different teams behind us, but still kind of just persevering through.
And what teams have you gone through?
We've gone from our young emo stage, which only the OGs will remember. Then we did quite well. We got more punky, and that kind of worked for us for a good while.
You have a song with 1 million streams.
Yeah, that's where it worked.
Gun in your pocket.
yeah. That was a really weird song. It came together on a lunch break of another session.
Right.
So we were recording an EP. I think it was 2017 that we recorded that.
Like that.
And like we just took a break and we had this random little song. We were like, oh, let's just put that down. And then we didn't do much to it, put it out, and it just kind of blew up. Yeah.
I think that's often the way.
It is, yeah.
Brendan from the Four was their big single is Mary. It was a joke song.
Yeah.
I just wrote it for the crowd.
I was even like Blur song too. Like they wanted to piss the label off.
Yeah.
So they wrote that song and it was amazing.
Yeah. What do labels know?
Yeah.
Are you guys you're self-releasing?
We released this album with a small indie label from Ireland called Paragon. Yeah. So they've been Paragon Records. Yeah.
Right.
So, but we do everything ourselves, and they help us out, like with the logistics.
Do you break up the tasks? Like, does somebody do the TikTok and somebody does the booking of the gigs? And
there's a lot. Everyone kind of has to chip in because there's so much work these days, isn't it?
You produce as well.
Yeah.
You engineer and.
So I'm kind of more behind that aspect of it. Yeah, the production and the mixing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm a photographer and videographer as well, so I'd be going behind that aspect of it.
Yeah. Very handy to have. Anyway, look, brilliant album. Well done. Well done.
Thanks so much.
Okay, so we are going to head back to Oblivion Studios in Dunboyne. Saibh Skelly.
The lights are on, but no one's home. Oh, what a beautiful house you own. When you walk in, you focus in on anything you can see your reflection in. I think this is useless, cause we know the truth is you can't get any deeper. Cool, then we don't have to do this, and it's kind of a waste of time. You've got an empty brain, but you're oh so vain. Just cause you're pretty doesn't mean you deserve more than I do. Okay, you're the mirror's favorite. I don't think you've got room to love somebody more than you do. More than you do. You talk a lot, not saying much. You're looking good, but you've got an ugly heart. It's also clear now that your mama never told you it's inside that counts. Well, it's useless, cause we know the truth is that it's kind of a waste of time. You got an empty brain, but you're oh so vain. Just cause you're pretty doesn't mean you deserve more than I do. Okay, you're the mirror's favorite. I don't think you've got room to love somebody more than you do. You're the mirror's favorite. Whoa. Oh, you got an empty brain, but you're oh so vain. You're the
And that was Saibh Skelly playing the Mirror's favourite. Lovely tune.
Thank you.
How did that come about?
That was a song, it's a little bit petty, I think. It's a song about meeting somebody who's a little bit full of themselves, maybe a little bit cocky, and sometimes people can look really good, but they just don't have the personality to back it up. I think we've all met somebody like that, and it's just kind of a universal, a universal kind of theme song for people that have interacted with somebody like that.
Right. You started as a busker.
I did.
And now you have a gazillion streams everywhere. How did that happen?
You know, I think people underestimate how amazing busking is and how amazing the busking culture is. Like, I started when I was 15 and I was out on the street playing songs like every single weekend. And you never know who's going to walk by and see you. You never know like how far your music is actually going to go on the street. Like, so I just started posting videos and people all across the world were watching it, like, which is crazy. And yeah, from there, a record label reached out and it kind of all just stemmed from that, from me busking and playing songs in Grafton Street.
Which record label?
So I'm signed with Rubyworks Records, which is an Irish label, which is great. I love them. I think they've been brilliant and they've really helped me grow as an artist, from a busker to a recording artist.
Your boyfriend was telling me you take trips to London for writing sessions.
I do. I did a lot. From when I was very young, I had to bring somebody with me. I had to have a chaperone for the first few trips. But yeah, we were back and forth to London an awful lot. London is an amazing city. It's so big, I think, in comparison to here, and getting to kind of meet other musicians and songwriters, like, I learned so much. Like, I felt like that was the most learning I ever did in my life, was in sessions with other musicians and like learning what type of music I wanted to make and like how to write songs, and it was brilliant.
Do you work with one single person or loads of people?
I've worked with loads of people. Yeah, I like reaching out to different people.
Okay, great. Before we play the second song, tell me a little bit about So What? I
wrote this song about somebody I just met at the time. It was like 2 weeks in and I was like, oh God, he's going to think I'm crazy. I'm after writing a love song about somebody I just met. But I wrote it anyway, and I was a little bit embarrassed, but I kind of just got through that, and I played him the song, and that was like 3 years ago now, and we're still together, and he still has to listen to the song every single day. So it was the right thing to do.
You wrote this for Barry?
I wrote this, yeah.
Oh, fantastic. We'll dedicate this performance of Saibh Skelly to Barry.
Yeah. I barely know you. Everything I know so far I like. Wouldn't be like me to fall for somebody overnight. Here we are in the back of your car, the sunroof open, staring at the stars. Isn't it bliss? Doing nothing but this. I'm a little dramatic, and I bet I'd be freaking you out if you knew that I've been on a whole other planet, and I can't come back down. But so what? Guess I'm a loser when it comes to love. Guess I'm a sucker, I can't get enough. I want that stereotypical, unconditional, hands-on, physical. Wonder if you have been feeling the same. Roll of your friends sick of hearing my name. I want that stereotypical, unconditional, hands-on, physical. I wanna go there, the place you always talk about, in the middle of nowhere. Maybe we can build a house in a couple of years. Down the line, I'll be yours, you be mine. Picking our kitchen tiles, blue like the color in your eyes. I wouldn't have to think about it twice. I'm a little dramatic, I bet I'd be freaking you out if you knew that I've been on a whole other planet, and I can't come back down. So what? Guess I'm a loser when it comes to love. Guess I'm a sucker, I can't get enough. I want that stereotypical, unconditional, hands-on, physical. Wonder if you have been feeling the same. Roll of your friends sick of hearing my name. I want that stereotypical, unconditional, hands-on, physical. Stereotypical, unconditional, hands-on, physical. Ooh, want that stereotypical unconditional, 'cause I barely know you. Everything I know so far I like, and if you're coming over, I might just fall in love tonight.
Thank you very much, Saibh.
Thank you.
It's time for tips and tricks. This is Mr. Niall Stokes. Hello, Mr. Niall Stokes. How are you?
I'm not too bad, Andrew.
You must be one of the busiest man in rock and roll, I think.
Well, I tell you what, we've been very, very, very busy recently. In addition to our normal monthly editions and all of the stuff we do on hotpress.com and so on and on, we have just finished a book by Michael D. Higgins. That's the President Michael D. Higgins.
Okay.
Who wrote a column for us for a decade. And this is the best of Michael D. Over those 10 years. And I have to say, it is an absolutely astonishingly powerful book. Advantage.
So if there's somebody out there now, whatever age, and they want to write, can they send stuff into you? Could they review a gig and post it in?
Yeah, they can send stuff in. I think it's very important to understand. It's a bit like, when people send in demos, CDs or whatever it is. There's a huge volume of material coming through at any given time. It makes a difference if something is well presented, if there's a good covering letter with it, if somebody can create the sense that they have things to say, that they can deliver a copy that really makes sense, but also remember that you're in the entertainment industry. The reader has to be engaged, ideally educated, but also amused.
Ask yourself, do you really want to do this? And if you decide you do, no harm to send an article into Hot Press. What else should they do?
Well, I think it's worth saying that you have to remember that it's a craft. So you need to work at it, and you need to, treat it as if you're carving wood or creating a sculpture or painting a picture.
Right.
People think it's easy. Anyone can do it. Of course, anyone can talk. Some people talk better than others.
Right.
In the same way, when it comes to writing, you need to actually work at the craft of getting across the things that you're trying to say or need to say or want to say in that form.
Have you any advice for musicians?
Well, the thing is, the first thing right now to say is that there is an extraordinary scene in Ireland with great artists all over the country producing material in all sorts of different genres that's capable of competing with the best that's being produced anywhere in the world. And that's an extraordinary thing to be able to say. But there is a downside to it. It used to be the case that there were 5 or 6 or 10 outfits that were, let's say, leading the charge. And you could keep a handle on that sort of, relatively easily. But now trying to keep, abreast of everything that's going on is much harder. And it also means that the volume of releases is hugely greater. The demand on the attention of people in radio, in hot press, and across the spectrum of media is also that much greater. Yeah. So what I would say, and this is, it's a very important part of how we navigate this particular space. The first thing is that, if you make friends, it's a very good starting point. Right. So try and communicate with people in a way that's first of all likely to grab their attention, but also then in the kind of positive spirit that maybe you go back a second time and a third time and a fourth time, because often it's the second or third or fourth time that somebody actually thinks, Jesus, I better bring this guy or respond in some positive or encouraging way. Yeah. So I think you have to recognise that the demands on people who are in the decision-making positions in whether it's in RTE or in any of the independent radio stations or in hot press, the demands are huge.
Yeah, they're saturated.
But and it also means in terms of live music and so on, it's that much more competitive also. But all of that said, the possibility exists now for people to be heard globally in a way that was not possible at all when you go back to the pre-internet days, and that opens up a whole new set of possibilities for people. The biggest thing that I think that everyone, doesn't matter whether it's as a journalist, a writer, a songwriter, a producer, a band that's main aspirations are in the live arena, the most important quality is that people should be able to work hard.
Yeah.
Hard work delivers results. People who are lazy might get lucky.
Right.
But the reality is that people who have the commitment, the energy, and the determination and put the work in are much more likely to develop respect among their peers, respect among the people who are making decisions, and are much more likely to get results in the long run.
Yeah. I had no problem with hard work, but really I just wanted to avoid a 9-to-5 job. I tried it and it didn't work out for me. Last one was when I was 17. So, rock and roll.
I was going to say, I think that is, something that most people in this sphere actually, feel and have felt along the way. You don't want to get locked into that thing where you're putting in in time doing something.
Yeah.
People who are lucky enough to be in this area and to have some level of success and who can earn a living from it are genuinely very fortunate, because
absolutely.
Living life doing something that you love, or around the cultural sphere, and enjoying the fruits of other people's labour on the one hand, or contributing in some way on the other hand. You could honestly say that is a dream job for a huge number of people who are never able to realise it. So the people who can should recognise the good fortune that they've stumbled into.
Are you a workaholic?
Well, I don't think that phrase covers the mad extent to which I put myself into everything I do. I mean, it just...
Right.
I was starting at Hot Press, we jumped on a train. The train was moving, and it hasn't stopped since. And we haven't been able to jump off. I certainly haven't.
I think it's gotten faster.
It is true that the complication of the modern era is that you're not just active in print or online, but you also have to be active on social media and all of that stuff. The demands that are made by the nature of the kind of contemporary media sphere are enormous. I mean, I'm not active on social media myself directly, because I made a decision very early on. I was going to leave that to other people, and I have to say, as a magazine, as an operation, we have to be and are successfully involved on social media.
Of course.
At the same time, I think it's very important to recognise the poisonous impact that social media has had in so many respects. It's an area, I would say to people, and this is an important message for anybody and everybody in the music space, is piling on and setting out to damage people on social media and being nasty and unpleasant is completely unnecessary and wrong. And we would all benefit from being kinder to one another and gentler with one another, and to apply that in the social media space as well as to ordinary life.
Right. That's a good way to end there, you old hippie. Mr. Niall Stokes, thank you very much, sir.
Thanks very much, Andrew.
Thank you, Niall Stokes, the main man from the Hot Press. Brilliant to have him aboard. Before we cut to the final song and play out, now that you've got this magnificent album, Champagne, is there any plans to record any more?
Yeah, we already are. We're straight back in. We were over in Wales, actually. We decided not to do the Airbnb thing this time.
Right.
And go to a nice studio. It's called Giant Wafer. It's very good.
Giant Wafer.
Yeah, it's a great name for a studio. Yeah, we're just.
But
already
with your
working.
skills, you know, you can do some work, take the files back, and you being a producer, you're able to work on it and get the sound that you want. And
Yeah, so there's a lot of work that goes before and after the recording sessions in my world.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's handy that we can do that way, so you're not spending ages in the studio trying to refine things.
Yeah.
When it costs a fortune.
And is it coming together? Like, how much of it is down? You got the rhythm tracks down?
It's coming together for sure. We're constantly writing and recording though, so what songs make the album, we don't know.
Yeah.
So it could go in the bin like we were saying before.
Yeah.
But
Even for Champagne, we recorded, like, we wrote like 30 plus songs for Champagne.
Yeah.
And cut it all down. So yeah, it's.
Do you know the old adage, the fish that John West rejects makes John West the best? Did you ever hear that?
No.
It's an advertisement
First time.
before you were born.
Yeah,
So
something like that.
chuck out all the
something
crap.
like that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's the name of the second album. Right?
Yeah.
Oh, The Clash had an awful album called Cut the Crop.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't buy it.
Yeah.
I love The Clash, but not that album, no. Guys, thank you very much for coming out. And this is the second song from Sick Love.
Talk about the gun in your pocket. Come on, show me what your mouth do. Come on, show me what your mouth do. Come on, show me what your mouth do. Come on, show me what ya, now what ya. Come on, show me what your mouth do. Come on, show me what your mouth do. Come on, show me what your mouth do. Come on, show me what ya. So tell me, can we talk about the gun in your pocket? About the gun in your pocket. Tell me, can we talk about the gun in your pocket? Talk about the gun in your pocket. Let's talk about the gun in your pocket. Tell me, can we talk about the gun in your pocket?